Well, in this exhibition you will not find huge altarpieces, but you will find splendid cabinet paintings featuring both religious and profane subjects, generally focused on one dominant figure who often looks out towards the viewer. This format is very typical of Florentine painting of the 17th century, the Seicento. An excellent example of this is the Madonna and Child by Onorio Marinari, which shows the Virgin and Jesus actually looking directly at us. The composition as a whole and the outline and colors of both figures are quite clear, and this too is a characteristic of Florentine art in this period. In the wake of ideals from the Renaissance, Florentine artists and collectors opted for paintings based on disegno, drawing or study, rather than focusing on the naturalism and strong contrast of light and shadow, which both define Seicento painting of Rome and Naples, or indeed on the quick brushstrokes and color of Venetian art. The powerful portrait of Prince Giovancarlo de' Medici is a good example of portrait painting from this period. It shows the Medici prince as commander of the Spanish fleet. Shortly thereafter, he was elected by Pope Innocent X as a cardinal, and as cardinal, Giovancarlo de' Medici became one of the most important art collectors of the 17th century, collecting numerous works by Rubens and Raphael. The cardinal was such a prolific collector that upon his death his entire estate had to be sold to pay for his immense debt. The Medici continued to be important patrons throughout the 17th and early 18th centuries, when the tremendous Florentine impact on Italian art and history gradually became an inspiring memory. A case in point are 4 polychrome stucco reliefs by Antonio Montauti from the Medici villa at La Peggi, portraying illustrious men from Tuscany of different epochs and spheres of knowledge. Michelangelo Buonarroti, Niccolo Machiavelli, Marsilio Ficino and Galileo Galilei. We see Galileo Galilei, the father of modern science and credited to have been the first scholar to declare that the world is round and not flat, holding an original telescope, while the 3 other illustrious men of Florence are also represented with attributes referring to their fame as either an artist, Michelangelo, a humanist philosopher, Marsilio Ficino, or a historian and politician, Niccolo Machiavelli. They represent the enlightenment and advancement in their respective fields in the arts, culture and science of 17th century Florence. They also stand for Florentine respect for history and tradition, self-esteem and hope for the future. The artist, Antonio Montauti, was the preeminent Florentine sculptor of his time. He worked for several members of the Medici family until 1733, when he departed to Rome and was appointed Surveyor of the Vatican 2 years later by Pope Clement XII.
The art of framing has always been extremely important to me. In over 4 centuries, very few paintings survived in their original frames. Styles and trends over the generations caused most paintings to be constantly reframed. The delicate carving and gilding of baroque frames suffered the most. It has been my personal goal to correctly frame these 17th century paintings with the appropriate 17th century frames. This started my goal and holy grail quest to locate antique frames, restorers of frames, and specialized wood carvers. It took years, but we were able to locate, working at the Uffizi and Pitti Palace of Florence, a master craftsman and carver. His atelier has continued to work for the Hauco collection to this very day.